1,000 years from today, is somebody going to stumble along what we consider modern day graffiti and say, wow, look at these pictographs? Timber Adventures, thanks you for traveling along with us on our explorations. And Timber and Nessie said, subscribe, like, comment, and please share. Once again, I'm back to having a speech impediment as a result of some dental surgery. So, in quick news, Timber's doing better. He's slowly recovering from his surgery. We did have some shortness of breath attributed to anemia. The cause is mostly likely idiopathic. Can't solidly define exact read. But after much care and Mundo, he's getting some meds and red meat. We're going to follow up next week and say a prayer for my boy, please. What is a pictograph, first of all? Pictograph, in a sense that we think of it, means an ancient or prehistoric drawing or painting. Another addition to that definition includes the fact that you'll find most of these on rock surfaces. And that makes sense because they're the only semi-permanent canvas, so to speak. And I say semi-permanent because rocks wear away too. Quite often, we see a great deal of the pictographs in areas that have been sheltered from weather or dry environments, seem to keep them in better condition. So I am speaking to you from the state of Pennsylvania, and I can report that if you look on the state museum website, you'll find that there is one indigenous pictograph in the entire state. Now, on to the fact that in 1,000 years' time, will some explorer come upon the side of a brick building that may be covered with soil, and as he digs away at the edges, they come upon an array of colors, then a design, a pictograph, or what we just refer to as graffiti. And it's possible that this will last because we use harsher chemicals and binding agents. Let's consider what images and messages are they going to see. Sure, we have the endearing love that I just mentioned. We have misspelled. We have bizarre sayings. We have off-color savings that might just be awful, and they're definitely going to confuse some future generation. Think about the slang or the urban lingo that they're going to come upon and just be baffled. But hey, so let's look out. How about a stormtrooper? Are future generations going to look at this and think that it is some alien? This white, otherworldly mask and allows it to breathe, maybe. Because they will most likely have an idea of what we look like and some of our past as well. So this dude's going to look like this big white stormtrooper. And will that simple image spark an entire show about ancient aliens in our future? Will they ever really know what a stormtrooper guy is? Will they realize that he was just a write-off character in a series of movies? You know, the guys that die, the red shirts from Star Trek, for instance. It's an interesting concept, pure speculation and conjecture, and of course, I love the idea. So will they eventually discover a portion of the highway down in Centralia, Pennsylvania? That particular portion of the highway has been covered with soil, and it's probably going to have some more soil on it by the time 500 to 1,000 years have passed. Graffiti highway was the term that was used, and there were some very unique images. In fact, as freaky as it may sound at one point, people actually had a good quarter to half a mile painted with what they referred to as the Garden of Penises. I can't make this up. But do many more show fine skills? Let's look at the actual graffiti that shows these, talent. Look at some of the beautiful designs. Peanuts with Snoopy, Birdie, and the gang, done in a Christmas design on the side of a boxcar, just in time for the season. But the colors are brilliant. So we looked at Goofy and the junkie sayings, and let's look at some of the beautiful ones that we've come across. And remember, it's not like you can erase and start over. They have one spray to make it count. They have talent. And many of these artists, or taggers as they are known in some areas, they have specific tag names or it's their signature for their art. For instance, Trey. It sounds like a tag name for sure. But with that, Timber Adventures is going to keep the video short and give my voice a break and say happy Thanksgiving this week, and thank you for watching.